She is made up. She dashes to the 6 a.m. store just to find her soulmate here. She trusts a man who gets up early for food, must be a family-oriented and responsible good man. Coincidentally, she looks up. She spots a man choosing produce in the distance. He instantly catches her eye. She instantly knows he's her long-sought true love. But that's not enough for her love-struck mind to give her heart fully. She still needs to test him with a knowledge quiz to see if he truly understands quality in life. Thinking this, she gracefully tosses away her orange. In a fleeting 5 seconds, she steadies her rapid breathing. Then she grabs a cart that comes by. Like a charming and lively bunny, she jovially hops up to the man. Clearly his answer matches the ideal answer Jessie had in mind. To avoid losing such a good catch before someone else matches him up, she expresses her last concern. The adult world is just that simple and pure. So you came to the supermarket to make breakfast for your wife and kids? No, I'm still single. Great, me too. After getting what I want. The passionate Jessie, not hiding her flirtatious gaze at all, she went straight for the man, inviting the confused Chris to shop together. Such a straightforward approach left Chris feeling bewildered. Having lived over 30 years, he had never met someone so direct, such a fun and innocent girl. His heart also stirred with longing, the spring of love blossoming in this mutual sentiment. They enjoyed themselves freely, began their first date journey. Jessie asked Chris if there was anywhere he wanted to go. The man, already mesmerized by the girl, did not hesitate to say, "As long as you're here, I can go anywhere." Really? Of course. And so they left the supermarket side by side. They went to a cafe that opens only in the morning. They ordered a drink agreeably, extra strong bitter coffee. Then they heartily discussed their lifestyles. Though their meeting was so recent, it had only been less than an hour, Jessie won him over with her smile. She caught his heart fast. Their relationship developed like an arrow released from a bow. As the sun climbed higher, things began to heat up. As the end drew near, with only the final barrier yet to be broken, at parting, the somewhat slow-witted man took the initiative to ask Jessie out to a couple's restaurant to have dinner. This made Jessie, a hunter by nature, realize the perfect man she had been searching for. Watching the man walk away, she excitedly danced in the center. It felt as if the whole world paused on this almost perfect morning, making Jessie, who lacked motivation for her job, feel an endless surge of inspiration. Her best friend says something and jokingly asked Jessie if she had encountered something great, and she unabashedly to share her morning encounter with Chris. With the girl, she cast a stunning glance. It's just a life of one. But depending on her for emotional sustenance, one inevitably runs into other difficulties. Even though her friend didn't want to rain on Jessie's parade, she felt she had to remind Jessie not to be late because of fanciful dreams. Hurts worked out, but their team led had denying Jessie's performance. He was ready for her slip-ups. Jessie, however, just scoffed at this. Her joy was close by. She could always become a dutiful housewife and should see whether the boss who needed performance would suffer. She'd wait until after work. Jessie raced home without staying an extra minute. Now her tiny head could only hold thoughts of her romantic encounter with Chris and the upcoming date on Thursday. She didn't mind the rotten peaches she got that morning. She didn't care at all. But as she excitedly pondered and makeup to fit, to showcase her beauty, her heart, but then felt a wave of hollow emptiness followed by waves of tearing pain. She could no longer raise her smile. The little woman who just dreamed of happiness now displaying the utmost sadness in silence. She slowly walked from the living room to the bedroom. Unlike her glamorous appearance, her home was a mess. Everywhere were clothes tossed around and litter scattered around the living space, which seemed to reflect how unsatisfactory her true life was. She felt her strength be stripped away by an invisible force. Engulfed, she buried herself in the duvet, laying the weight of the quilt tightly wrapped around her. This was her only path to feel secure, to obtain a sense of safety. Although it seemed ridiculous, it truly reflects a group of lonely people, the truest portrayal of life. In the following days, the lively and optimistic Jessie locked herself in her room. For several days, she seemed to blend into the snug comforter, nor too small. Not even the things she normally loved couldn't spark any interest. What's even sadder is that she waited until Thursday night to receive the only call made to her. And that was just Chris, who had ghosted her. Calling in confusion, recalling her eager anticipation for the date, Jessie felt as if a boulder had lodged in her heart. She wanted to explain to Chris, but her mouth opened as if stitched shut, and she couldn't utter a single word. Chris, sensing something was wrong, ran right down to Jessie. He prayed in his heart that the woman who captured his heart would be okay. But when the tightly shut door opened, the woman standing before him took him by surprise. She looked like she hadn't changed her clothes in days. Her previously radiant face over the past few days had dulled like it was eroded by acid, losing its natural luster. Only remnants of makeup remained, giving her an aura of endless weariness. He didn't know these few days had put the woman through to cheer her up. He revealed the little date surprise he made. Yet even so, Jessie still looked like a wilted flower, lifeless. "Oh, thank you." In response to the man's carefully crafted wooden gift, Jessie mustered the last bit of energy. She ate to buy him dinner as thanks, but no matter how Chris cared for her on the way, Jessie just stammered, lost in thought. She wouldn't elaborate about what had happened to her upon reaching the restaurant. Gentle-natured Chris no longer pressed her for answers. He told her many funny jokes, trying to lighten Jessie's mood, and Jessie understood Chris' intention. She forced her emotions, producing a smile more heartbreaking than tears. This was a far cry from the lively woman he remembered. Out of curiosity, he asked his lingering doubt, "Do you have a twin sister?" "No." Chris' question was quite creative. One was to confirm his suspicions, using a gentle approach to clarify his confusion. The second was to lift the mood to thaw their ice-cold relationship, creating a small crack, make an emotional effort to connect. Yet all he did was careful planning. Jessie now cannot perceive. Her mind's response can only maintain this moment as wide open. And that's just it. Made Chris wrongly believe Jessie was giving him the cold shoulder, forcing him to back off. Until the end, the emotions that should have happened by chance had it end awkwardly here. At parting time, Chris tells Jessie, starting today, he will no longer meet her. He is grateful for Jessie's presence at brief moment. Luckily, her attitude helped her see